Hey folks, I'm doing a response to Edfoxx777, Wolves and Sheep's Clothing. Um, and again, the best way I can do that is to respond to things that he's saying through it. Now, bear with me, this is not a rip down. This is just, well, we might call it a little bit of a explanation of sorts and support. So here we go.
How's it going? Edfoxx777 here. Wanted to ask a question. And this is a subject that I never really hear a lot. And I had a conversation with a great lady. She is like a truther or a person who is awake, listens to different type of alternative radio. One of those people that you can relate to. And well, I was listening to Alex Jones yesterday at the shop that I own. And since it's my shop, I can listen to it, right? So I had it on full blast, listening to Alex Jones, going around the store, doing some inventory or whatever I was doing at that time. And she came in the store, looked around a little bit, and then she goes, Alex Jones, right? And I said, yes, ma'am. I was surprised that she even knew Alex Jones. Because where I'm from, I'm a small town, Crockett, And I said, so do you like Alex Jones? And she said yes, but she only can now take them in small implements.
Okay, I got to stop it right there. I, some years back, was listening to Alex Jones quite a bit. Anymore, I can only take him in so much amounts. I have a very hard time with him. He is, in my opinion, okay, a sensationalist. Sort of like Glenn Beck. Sort of like Bill O'Reilly. Both of whom I listened to for a while, but I could only take them in small doses. Some of what they say makes sense, but they sensationalize on things. Just my opinion.
And I was like, what, you not hear it all the time? What do you mean? And then she was like, well, Alex tends to get you jacked up, get you thinking on emotions or running on emotions instead of thinking about
Yeah,
the subject
yeah.
in her point of view. Now, this is not a rant on Alex Jones. This is not a bashing on Alex Jones. So, anybody out there who's Alex Jones fans ready to give me some negative comments, relax. No. It's okay.
Alex Jones. Alex Jones is good for somebody who is just waking up. Not Edfoxx, that you are just waking up. I've grown beyond that. I like to do my own thinking. I dare to think for myself. I put two and two together myself. Again, he sensationalizes a bit too much. No disrespect. That's your thing. Great. I support it. As for me, it's not for me.
On Alex Jones. And I'm not here to defend him either. So, anybody out there who says, "Oh, you're an Alex Jones fan," blah blah blah. He's with the CIA. Relax, calm down. This is not what this video is about. Okay, so continuing on. So she told me about how Alex, tends to get you jacked up, and she's known. And this is where the subject gets into. She's known a lot of people who's snapped, so to speak, went crazy, off the bin, loony, because of all the information, not just on Alex Jones, but just the information and the awareness of what's going on in the world, right?
Information
That
overload.
they lose it, And listening to Alex Jones, she was trying to inform me on a daily basis, like I do, that it could, if you're not careful, harm you. And
No. Just listening to him daily, it actually started irritating me, to be quite honest with you. It's not my thing. Was it one time? Is no longer.
understood that. I really did. And I was like, but I said, yeah, sometimes when I listen to Alex Jones, sometimes, when he starts doing his rants, makes me feel like I just, drunk down a 6-pack of Red Bull and I'm ready to just explode, right? But not do anything crazy, like, fly a plane into the IRS building or anything like that, that's because of, I have a conscience, and the repercussions of something like that, mainly death, is something that, I'm not going to, I don't fly with that, So anyways, then the discussion went a little further. She told me about different sources to go on to, radio shows or internet sites that are more, calm but more informational as well. And they stick to the subject, and they just only speak about the subject, but not talk about the subject and then get you jacked up, So, and I was like, that's cool, I wrote them down, stuff like that. And we started talking. And we were talking about when the shit hits the fan scenario, economical collapse, World War III, people, starving, whatever. The awareness of the American people. And she told me that she actually believes that there's a lot more people that are aware and awake and sensitive against the New World Order than we realize. And that's where we agreed to disagree, so to speak. Because
this is where I get in with somebody that I thought was actually waking up. He likes Ron Paul, except for his foreign policy. Still feel we gotta protect our interests. But I'm not going there with this video. But he was talking to me today about Oath Keepers. And he says, well, the Supreme Court interprets the Constitution this way. And I looked at him and said, there is no interpreting the Constitution. It's there in black and white. I will be doing a video tomorrow on this. It's black and white. What they felt and how it applies to today. But we're going off subject. Let's go on.
I, thinking of like when a pair of new Air Jordans come out, that you got motherfuckers breaking into stores and killing each other over a pair of sneakers, or
Christmas Eve, or when Kmart opens or Walmart opens, right after Thanksgiving, and boom, everybody's got to rush in to buy the latest, greatest, bestest thing. They're asleep. They're asleep. That is most of America. I agree with you, Ed.
the images that we see on Black Friday, right, or the tent cities everywhere, that and the polls that are rigged, or people are actually voting for a Mitt Romney, Newt Gingrich, Rick Santorum instead of a constitutionalist like Ron Paul. All these images started running in my head, and I'm like spewing them out back at her and going, well, no ma'am, the American people are not as awake as you think.
Nope, they're not. And
I couldn't grasp if she's awake and, being a truther, that she actually believes that. And I said, I don't believe.
I believe she's half awake, half asleep. She really doesn't want to grasp like some individuals I'm talking to right now. They don't want to fully grasp reality. Anyways.
That you could actually say that, considering that if you just go across the street to the courthouse and start speaking like our language to these sheeple out there, that they would look at you like you're crazy, And she started explaining about, like, we only think that there's fewer people because if one person is sticking their head up out of a crowd, they'll tend to snipe that head or cut that head off. But if a whole crowd at once raises their head, then it's a little harder to do. But yet again, I still can't grasp that.
I can't grasp that either.
Because all I see is onesies and twosies poking their head outs in the crowd today. And obviously, if the shit hits the fan, more people will realize that there's something wrong because they went through a form of suffering.
Yeah, they're going hungry. They didn't prepare. I went through this on a video earlier on how my grandparents went through the Depression. You hoarded or you stored up stocks for when times were bad. I am sincerely glad that we did when we could before the move. Because this past year, we were not able to put in a garden because we were planning on moving. We knew we were going to have to leave. We've been living off of stores pretty much. The wife took a big hit on pay, about $600 a month, because of losing a shift differential, because, well, they can't afford it anymore. They can't do what they were doing before. But that's neither here nor there. This year, I plan on bulking up again. And it's all going to be homegrown, home-raised stuff again. Anyways.
Trials and tribulation, a form of where they knew that the consequences are hitting them hard, and they're going to think back on what those consequences were, and that's where they were like, hey, you know, maybe I listened too much of the media, or I believed in this politician, or I believed that the Patriot Act and the NDA and so on and so on and so on was now a wrong thing, because now I have no social liberties, I have no money, no house,
no freedom.
You get my gist, right? So anyways, but she was saying that it's not like that, and that the country, the American people, are indeed united. We just don't know it.
No. What we have are people waking up at a very slow degree. I would agree with that statement. And I will agree that with a lot of them, it's going to be too little too late. And they are going to panic. And that's what's going to cause the SHTF.
And that we have to survive out of love and not so much out of emotions and prepping and...
No, prepping is part of it. You could love, you could have compassion, but prepping, preparing for the worst, not so much shit hit the fan, but preparing for something like, we lived in a floodplain, and we were without power for 11 days. Well, we were without regular electricity for 11 days. We had a generator. We were still able to survive. It was a small generator at the time. I've got a larger one now. But where we couldn't work like the microwave, but that's the last thing I'd want to power, or the stove. But I had a propane cooker. I had a gas. I had a charcoal grill. We were still able to cook and provide, eat. I was able to heat the house. I put a pigtail on. There was a pigtail on the furnace. We were able to heat the house. This house that we've moved into, I don't need to do that, although I'm thinking I will anyways, because we've got a fireplace that will actually heat the whole house, and it does quite a good job. If you're cold, go into the living room. It's 80 degrees in there. The rest of the house is right around 65, 68.
Guns and ammunition.
Have those. Have those for fun, target practicing, for self-defense, and for hunting. Anybody that has a weapon or weapons will have that anyways.
That's weird. That's where I just can't grasp my head around that whole concept. And I really don't hear about different aspects of truthers and how they think, or people are aware. I mean, what's a lot of y'all's belief? Because when I was hearing her belief, God bless her, I really enjoyed the conversation. It was enlightening. But I just can't quite grasp that concept that American people are actually awake. Because if they're awake, then they're sure acting like they sure are doing a good job acting like they're asleep. I'm telling.
They're not awake. They're really not awake, brother. I think it was said best about the bigger the lie, the more people will believe. But anyways,
On you because it's just a lot of times I'm just sometimes thinking it's just a waste of time to
yeah.
to talk anymore, you know.
But I don't give up. I a lot of times feel it's a waste of time, just like that one gentleman that said the Constitution is interpreted. No, it's there in black and white. To me, it makes perfect sense. But they're clouded with these visions about how we have to protect our interests and we got to do this. No, we don't. We didn't back then. Oh, but these are modern times. It doesn't make a bit of difference. The Constitution is black and white. I will be doing a response video to this video that I'm doing now on this tomorrow. But no, there are people that are suddenly going to go, oh shit, we should have prepped. Oh no, we didn't. Well, we got to find those people that did and buddy up with them. At that point, it's too late. I will defend my community. I will not feed them. Not unless they're willing to do something in return for me. Barter. But then I will not hamper my stores to feed me and mine to try to take care of somebody else. It's a hard choice. It's hard decisions.
Just kick back, just take a nap, and when you wake up, go, are we there yet? Because being in the driver's seat, driving for long hours, it's tiring.
Yep.
So, it's, to me, I image two different types of people who are awake. One that believes in love and compassion when the shit hits the fan. But I don't believe that
there could be that to a point.
That love and compassion and stuff like that is going to be important anymore. And what I mean by that is because when the shit hits the fan, there's was way too many.
I hope it doesn't come to that, but God honest gut feeling, I believe you're right.
American people are gonna, they had no love and they had no compassion, and they're gonna do everything that they can to take your stuff or kill you to get your stuff that you've packed away and saved, and you were trying to warn people and they just didn't listen, you know. And then when it comes down, who can you trust? You know, some people, they think that you can just trust anybody because of love and compassion. And I think personally, you have, when the shit hits the fan, you have to go beast mode. You know, there's the only thing people you can trust is your family and your close circle of friends.
In a lot of ways, you're right there. People have got to prove. Folks, this has been an extremely long video. I'm sorry. I'm going to cut out on this one. I will be posting a response video to this on the Constitution, and it will be multi-part. It will not be through video cam. Peace out. Brother, I hear you. I really hear you.